Hi everyone, Somerset Shrimp Shack here. So today, this is our first proper video that I'm going to be doing for you guys. And I'm going to give you a tank tour and show you everything that we've got here in our setup at the moment. And I'll maybe give you a little bit of a talk on what's in each tank, why we set it up the way we have. If you see anything that you've got questions about in any of the tanks as we go, please don't forget to drop us a comment and ask away. And I'll be happy to answer that maybe in future videos or leave you a comment back. So the first tank we're going to take a look at is our crystal red Caridina tank. So this is one of our breeding colonies. We've got a nice mixture of triple S grade, double S grade and S grade shrimp in here. So for a breeding tank, this is quite scaped. You'll come to learn about me that I can't help but add a little bit of hardscape and plants to a lot of my tanks. I find it really hard not to make a tank planted. Little bit of a story behind this tank. So we actually scaped this tank live during a live stream on TikTok. So this tank's made up of dragonstone, azalea rootwood, Cryptocorinne spiralis, several species of Bucephalandra, some Lidwigia palustris mini super red, and some Christmas moss, as well as Marsilia hucata in the foreground. This is an RO setup. We're using Denel Shrimp King active substrate to help us buffer the pH. And as it's a shrimp tank, this has a sponge filter. These guys are feeding on a shrimp lolly at the moment. On to the next tank. So this is our 25 litre Rimless Beta tank. So we have an alien Beta in here. A few varieties of Cryptocorinne, water wisteria, Rotala blood red, peacock moss, Java moss and Christmas moss, Limnophila sessiliflora and some Cryptocorinne spiralis tiger in the back left that's still growing at the moment. Fish-wise, we've got a little group of strawberry rasboras, a blue alien betta, some dwarf stone catfish and two reticulated hill stream loaches. Our Betta used to be extremely blue, but for some reason over the last month or so he's began to peel colour-wise, which is surprising as he's not that old. So these four tanks here, these are different shrimp breeding tanks. So we'll start from the left. So these two tanks here on the left are RO setups again. So these are for species of Caridina. This tank here is mostly boas. We've had some success breeding in here as well, as you can see some juveniles. So we have a mixture of boas and snowfalls in here. We will eventually be separating them out, but for right now, we're just getting a good colony going. In this tank, we just have a little bit of wood with some Bucephalandra and a ball of Java moss and then some floating plants to help with filtration, as well as a sponge filter, still using that Shrimp King Denel active substrate. But we don't want to have too many plants in here as we want to keep those nice green algae walls, which is perfect for breeding shrimp. There are some pretty amazing shrimp in this tank. Not all of them are out right now, so hopefully they'll be out in future videos that I do and I can showcase those ones to you. If we head over to the right, this is another Caridina tank. So as you can see, I've started losing the algae walls in here, and that's because I let the floating plants get a little bit out of hand. But in here, basically, we have a mixture of anything that holds the metallic gene. So what we're trying to do is stabilize the metallic gene. So for that reason, we have some blue bolts. We have some blue metallic boas. The coverage isn't complete on them, but they hold the genetics. I have a couple galaxies that also hold the genetic and a metallic snowflake in there. So hopefully over time with this tank, we will be able to stabilize those genes and make metallic blue boas. But again, I'll probably do a video in the future that's more focused on this breeding project that I've got ongoing, because that would be a whole video to talk about in itself. Moving over to the next tank, we have Neocaridinas this time. So this is not an RO setup. So these are yellow fire golden back Neocaridina dividis. As you can see, they've been breeding really well. Again, we've got another shrimp lolly in here feeding these guys. Another really simple setup. You just got some nymphea in there in the back, a bit more cryptocorin tiger there, and then just some Christmas moss on that wood. And then where possible, I always try and use a darker substrate if I can, as it helps enhance the colour of the shrimp, makes them pop that little bit more. So then moving over to the right again, this is the last tank on this shelf. So this is a mixture of Caridina bobolti and green jade Neocaridina dividi. So these guys won't crossbreed because they're two different species. They are close cousins and still dwarf shrimp. Neocaridinas and Caridina are both from the family Atiida, but they're not possible to crossbreed. So as we've run out of space, it was just a way of saving space, putting two shrimp that can't crossbreed but can share parameters together. And we also keep quite a few different species of Bucephalandra in here. And also, as you can see in a lot of our tanks, we have these ram's horn snails. They are another little critter that we breed for our business. So then as we move down to the final shelf, our first stop is the blue diamonds. So these guys are lovely, really nice deep blue. So these are Neocaridina dividi. This colony is doing really well, again, lots of babies. But as you will also see, so this tank I've managed to bring in line with sulawesi parameters. So whilst I'm waiting to have the space to set up a sulawesi species tank, I was able to get hold of them whilst they were available and house them here. They've been in here for about 3 to 4 weeks and they've been doing really well. So these are the Montano blue dots. But as I said, they will be getting their own tank at some point in the future. Then as we move over to the left again, this is our fire red Neocaradinas. Another breeding tank. They're kind of all spread out at the moment as it's not feeding time for these guys yet. But you can see a few of them just down here. Again, each of these tanks will probably get their own video at some point. But our last tank on the racking system, this is our mixed grow out tank for our Caridina. So any Caridina we buy that are juvenile that don't have a place in our 2 breeding projects above, they'll go into here. If they breed, that's not a problem for me as they are Caridina, so I might get some cool hybridizations of different species. I could get mishlings, or I could have shrimp of the same variety, of the same strain, breeding with each other and giving me babies of them. So whatever happens, I'm happy with that either way. But this is just a good place for me to hold all of the Caridina shrimp that will eventually be getting their own dedicated setups whilst the space becomes available. So we've got black fancy tigers in here, we've got a metallic purple nanashi, some shadow pandas, some blue steels, some red galaxy fish bones. And And we've also got a small group of boas that are being grown out to go to one of our customers. So that is it for the rack. And now the last tank, my personal favourite. This is my display tank. So this is our 240 litre South American style, sort of Amazonian sort of scape. So I wanted to try and make this 100% South American species of plants and fish only. When I first started the tank, I was having a few issues with some algae. So I did have to pop some Amano shrimp in there. And there are 2 plants in there that aren't South American, and that's Anubis and Java fern. But everything else you see is all from South America, somewhere along the Amazon River. So fish-wise, we've got a lovely group of angelfish. These are Trophalum scalari. We've got a lovely pair of dwarf flag cichlids, also known as smiling acaras or Leotakara curviceps. We've also got a Pistogramma agassizii female. We did have a male, but unfortunately we lost him. We have a lovely group of green neon tetras, group of dwarf pencilfish. We have an L059 starlight bristlenose and also a super red bristlenose. I believe they're both female. There's a nice little school of Otocinclus dwarf suckermouth catfish in there too. And occasionally we also see some false Julii corridora catfish. But that's all of our tanks, guys. So thank you for watching our video and checking out all of the tanks we got at the moment. Hopefully in the future I can introduce you to more tanks and give you an update on how the tanks are all doing. If there's anything you got any questions on that you've seen in any of these tanks, then please don't forget to leave a comment. And if you're just watching this and you haven't already subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. There's loads more content coming in the next few months, and I look forward to doing it for you. Cheers, everyone.